So I don't know if this is the final time. I've said that before over the years, and many times I've been wrong, clearly. So I've kind of stopped trying to slap that label on anything. I don't know when the last time will be. I don't think this is the last time. I think hopefully we both have a few years ahead of us, and I think we're here for a good time, not a long time, is my guess. Every single time I thought that we hit some sort of marker, especially in the story between Kevin and myself, there's some sort of crazy new thing on the horizon. And for us, I think this is it. Um, like just getting to WWE to begin with, both signing with WWE seemed insane. And then, wrestling for the NXT title was insane. And then wrestling each other on Raw and on pay per view or PLEs or WrestleMania, like it just each step seemed more insane than the next. And you would think after, especially main eventing WrestleMania as a tag team, winning the tag team titles, and this really, historic sort of match with all these great circumstances that surrounded it, you'd think, well, that's it. There's no topping this. But in a strange way, this kind of does because it is. It's to me, it's still the Sky Dome, and what a big deal that was. WrestleMania, X8. And I remember the first Monday Night Raw from the Sky Dome in '99, and what a huge deal it was. And now for us to be, we used to drive to Toronto for maybe $50, $100 to do these shows, and now we're going to Toronto to, a packed Sky Dome like at Rogers Center. I don't know. It's one of those perpetual sort of can you believe it moments, and I think it's a really, really big deal. At least it is for me. Can't really speak for him, but I'm sure it's a big deal for him too. I think I'm very lucky and very privileged to be in a position that I'm in currently, or the position I was in heading, a couple of years ago, heading into that match with Roman Reigns. I think those are both. If you're able to do one of those things in your entire career, you've had a great career. With the Netflix premiere, obviously felt like a really big deal, and that's us like welcome. That's us putting on our best face and say, hey, this is a new audience. This is who we are. This is what we do. And that was really cool. But then, it's still business as usual every other week for the next 10 years. So I don't feel a huge difference. Actually, you kind of hit it on the head. It is a very WrestleMania feel for me in terms of like the mindset approaching this match and just, I don't know, the vibe. It kind of feels like a Canadian WrestleMania, really. WrestleMania is hard to come by. There's a million cities now. It's become such an event that cities are actually vying for it. I have no doubt it'll end up coming to Toronto within the next, 5-10 years. Toronto is a great market. But this kind of feels like WrestleMania. It really does. And especially with this match with Kevin, I touched upon this answering some of the other questions, but it's just, our history and the history of shows at that stadium in particular, like WrestleMania X8, like those first episodes of Monday Night Raw from the Sky Dome were such a big deal to any Canadian watching on TSN at that time in '99. I just remember that so vividly. And actually, here's a fun fact. March 1st is my wrestling anniversary, so it'll be 23 years to the day for my first match. So it kind of makes me even more reflective because I'm like, wow, who would have thought? I never would have thought 23 years ago having my first match, hey, in 23 years, it'll be you and that guy in the Sky Dome, as one of the big premier matches and a match that personally I think will probably end up stealing the show. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. It really, it's a combination of excitement and that WrestleMania feeling, but also a lot of personal reflection. It's an emotional one. So I plan on making it a really, really good one. I think, we have a tendency to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to outdo ourselves. And we've had some pretty great matches in our history and some crazy matches. And I think this one's going to have to live up to a lot of that. So I think we're going to try to outdo ourselves. And if history's any indication, I think we'll succeed.